Hey, what is going on, everybody? How are you all doing today? I hope you all are having a wonderful and fantastic day today, and if not, hopefully you all will have it better tomorrow. So, it's time for the November Q&A. I know this is extremely late due to a lot that had gone on last month and whatnot, and I'm grateful for all of you being patient with me during this time. It's been a bit rough. I mean, realistically, it has. I want to thank you all for your patience with me, and I do appreciate it. So I'm going to try to get the next Q&A out very soon because we're getting ready to hit January, so probably New Year's Day or the day after. So we'll be aiming for that. But let's talk about the schedule real fast before we get into this. So in terms of crazy things that go on the internet, now I might have a video today. If I don't, it'll be up tomorrow for certain. So if it doesn't go up today, then it will be up tomorrow. But the RWBY Volume 8 Chapter 6 review will be going up tonight. So that will be a 100% guarantee, so we can get all that caught up. And then the Chapter 7 review will be up tomorrow night. So I'll make sure to get all that caught up. So that will definitely be going out tonight. Just wanted to let everybody know, give everybody a heads up on what's going on. And then as for, like I said, regular normal content, definitely will be going up tomorrow if it does not go up today. So I just wanted to give everybody a little bit of an update, just to let everybody know. So, just wanted to give everybody the heads up. Now, I want to thank you all for being patient with me, and with the Q&A, if you have any questions for December's Q&A, please leave them in the comment section down below. I will be sure to get to them. If there are any that I may have forgotten from this month, or well, last month rather, then let me know, and I'll be sure to put them in the next month's Q&A. Without further ado, let's get started. So, Andrew Kiyoshin asks, for the November Q&A, imagine this scenario is your birthday, but you have to share it with other people, characters from anime, games, real life, etc., to share your birthday. What do you do if they're in your birthday? Well, to any characters that would be sharing the same birthday as me, I would make sure to actually throw a party and enjoy it with everybody. I mean, that would be pretty fun. Probably go out, hang out different places, do things that other people would also find enjoyable as well. So it wouldn't just be about me, I'd make it about them as well because, that's just who I am. I mean, I'm somebody to really kind of, help out other people and what they enjoy and then do what they enjoy. So, but yeah, that's what I do. I mean, hey, man, great question. Good question. Elizabeth McAden asks, could Wario steal relics? Oh, yeah, I mean, it's Wario. I mean, he could become Wario Man, and then he could take, like, any of the maidens, because he'd be invincible, and then he'd just slam them into the ground, knock them out, and then he would go and take them to open the doors. I mean, that's probably what he'd do. Who do you think would win between Mario and Kirby? I'd have to go with Mario if he's got the Superstar power-up, because he's invincible, and then Kirby can't beat him. So, that's where I would say Mario would be the winner of that one. Now, if Mario didn't have it, then it'd go to Kirby, if Mario did not have the Superstar power-up. What would happen if Team Witch attacked Peach? What would she do? Oh, she'd probably Peach bomb them. They'd blow up and then go flying away. That's probably what would happen is she'd probably throw vegetables at them. I mean, that would actually be kind of comical. I mean, because Peach is not somebody to mess with. Yeah, she'd beat Team Witch easily, I'd say. I mean, probably the most challenging would be Cinder, but even then, Cinder's proven how disappointing she is. So, yeah. And as much as someone as I am that likes Cinder, yeah, of course, Cinder would probably lose anyways. But, yeah, that's probably what I'd say. Could you write RWBY better? I think that anybody with creativity could write RWBY better. In fact, I bet you if I went and gave a piece of paper to a kid and say, hey, write out a script, I bet the kid could actually write a better story than what Rooster Teeth could ever do. Bet you they could. Because they have so much creativity and imagination, I bet you they could as opposed to Rooster Teeth. Just saying. Would the current Team RWBY drive Kaneki crazy more than he already is? Oh, yeah. I mean, he would kill them. That's basically what happened. Like, he would start hearing RWBY talk for like a minute and see how much of a sociopath she is, and then he'd be like, okay, I'm tired of this. That's probably what would happen. Could the Team Fortress 2 Mercs beat Hazel? Yes, I do think that the Team Fortress 2 Mercs could be Hazel. I don't think that would be a big issue for them at all, actually. Besides, their weapons could just basically just shoot him and destroy his aura, and then he wouldn't have anything left, and they just kind of gun him down. I mean, it wouldn't be hard, especially with how clunky and slow Hazel is. It wouldn't be surprising to see that happen. Who would win between Edelgard from Three Houses and Lelouch from Code Geass? Oh, Lelouch, definitely. I would have to put all my money on Lelouch because if you see how smart he was, how his Zero Requiem plan worked out, like, the guy was a mad genius. Edelgard, yeah, she's smart, don't get me wrong, but Lelouch wins, and he also has the Gios, so he could also basically go after her and then make her get possessed by the Gios. So I'd say that she would lose. But yeah, good questions. Thanos number one asks, so for your Q&A in a food war, Sanji versus Soma, who would win, or would it be a draw? Well, between Sanji, which I gotta say, Sanji, he's an awesome character. Right? He's one of my favorites of One Piece. And then you have Soma, who, yet again, he's actually my favorite character overall in Food Wars. So you're putting two of my favorites. But if I had to look at both of them, now, if you were to talk about physical combat, yeah, Sanji's definitely gonna 100% beat Soma. That's without question. But when it comes to who's actually better overall, food-wise, I probably have to give it to Soma, and my reason for giving that to Soma would be because, well, he can make somebody food gas. I think he'd win that one personally, but that would be a very, very, very close match. But yeah, good question, man. Brandon Miller asks, StarCraft, Diablo, World of Warcraft, Overwatch. Which has the better lore? Oh, I was always a fan of Diablo. That one and StarCraft. World of Warcraft was more of a friend of mine's thing. And Overwatch, thing is, Overwatch retcons a lot of its stuff, which I think is kind of a problem. If I had to say, oh, this is a good one. It's between probably StarCraft and Diablo, in my opinion. Those would probably be the two that I would say would probably be the ones. Maybe StarCraft. StarCraft might be the one with the best lore. So I might have to lean towards StarCraft, although I really like Diablo, but probably StarCraft. Yeah, good question. Dennis number one asks, for Q&A, what is your favorite Keyblade design? Oh, from Kingdom Hearts. My favorite would probably be in Kingdom Hearts 2, actually, which would be the Oblivion. That is actually my favorite. I mean, I love the way that it looks, and I love the dark color scheme to it. I mean, it's just always been my favorite, personally, in terms of the Keyblade designs. But, yeah, so Oblivion's my favorite. But, yeah, let me know what yours is down below. But, yeah, good question, man. Julian R. asks, so what's a crate dragon? So the crate dragons, they were from Star Wars. They were the large carnivorous reptiles that were actually from Tatooine, and they actually were hunted because they actually had precious pearls that were found within their bodies. That's actually what the crate dragons were. It was that big skeletal thing that you saw in episode 4 that R2-D2 and C-3PO, when they were walking for the pod, the escape pod. That's that skeletal remains. It was pretty interesting. But yeah, good question, man. Tamara Sasha asks, list best to worst boyfriend husband in anime. Ooh, now this is going to be a good one. So I'll list 5 good ones and 5 bad ones. So first off, I got to start with who I think is best boy, and that is Tomoya Okazaki. I think that he was an awesome character, and he was so supportive of Nagisa during her hardships. And it's kind of funny because Tomoya, he was actually seen as like a delinquent character, but he was actually completely different from what people thought. I mean, he was actually even very supportive of everybody around him, and he also got Nagisa more involved in school. He actually got her to do more things. I mean, he was such a great character. If you haven't watched Clannad, go watch Clannad. It is way too good of an anime, in my opinion. Second on my list would be Takeo Guda from Ore Monogatari. Oh man, he is such a good character. I mean, yeah, he had a very big, intimidating appearance, and amongst many women, he wasn't very lucky with them, but then of course he saves Rinko from a crazy groper, which at that point everything starts to change for him because him and Rinko, they have their relationship start to develop, and I mean, the guy shows how good he actually is, and that's why to me Takeo is amazing. And if you haven't watched Ore Monogatari, watch it. It's also another very good series. It really is. So third on the list for best boyfriend would be Ryuji Takasu. Now, this guy, it's funny because while he was misunderstood as being believed to be a delinquent, he's someone who's self-conscious, but he's actually very caring. And he knows how to sew. He's really good at that. But I really do like his development and relationship with Taiga, who is the tsundere queen. I mean, so good. Toradora is just too good. Third on the list would be Takumi Yusui from Kaicho wa Maid-sama, or Maid-sama. Now, this actually started off with him going to the maid cafe after he found out that Misaki was actually secretly working there to support her family. And in the end, it goes from being, this kind of joking fun to actually him caring for her, seeing the stress that she was going through at her work, which he's the kind of guy that any woman would want. I mean, look at this stallion of a man. I mean, I'm telling you. But, really good series. He's a great dude. The next one is Aijima Cecil from Yuta no Prince-sama. Now, he's actually a really kind guy, and he's someone who is very understanding, but if there's one thing that he ever really wanted was to make a woman happy. As he would always say, as long as you were happy, my princess. I think that he was a very kind guy, and he actually was a real prince. Which is kind of the funny part, and also, he's a stallion. I mean, look at him. We got some pretty good stallions on this list. I mean, for all of you out there that are into that, you got a pretty good ones on the list. Now, of course, there's also the worst boyfriends. Starting with what I would see as the lowest on the poll here, Takumi Ichinose from Nana. Now, I don't like this guy because, well, he actually went and cheated on his wife multiple times and continued to do it, as well as he also would bring down her intelligence and make fun of her. I mean, you feel bad for Nana because of how she gets treated by this guy. I mean, it's pretty bad, but he's not the worst on this list. He gets a lot worse. Like this guy, for example, Ryo Akiyasu. This guy is terrible. He would trick women into joining a pyramid scheme, and he would specifically go after his own brother's girlfriends. And then, whenever they went broke, he would just drop them and just let their lives be completely shattered. I mean, the guy was pretty awful. I mean, he really was. He was pretty bad. Then, of course, I gotta put Sasuke Uchiha on this list. Everybody knows I don't like Sasuke. I mean, if you like him, that's cool. No problems there. But, God, I don't like Sasuke. And I don't like this guy for multiple reasons, but for this list, we gotta talk about how he treated Sakura specifically, because I wouldn't even call what she felt for him love. I'd say it was more like obsession. But of course, Sasuke rejected her multiple times, which she didn't get the hint there on her part. Same time, Sasuke did try to kill her. He even put her in a genjutsu where he ripped her heart out. I mean, that's pretty intense, but not only that, but, yeah, Sasuke's gotten better as a character later on. I still don't like him, but he has at least improved. But he did leave his daughter also. He just completely left her, and she had no idea who he was until she was 12 years old. I mean, come on. Just leaving his wife to take care of the kid while he was off doing missions. I mean, he could have clearly actually tried to do something. I mean, yeah, he also wanted to make sure that, his daughter wouldn't be targeted because of her being an Uchiha as well as being the daughter of Sasuke. I get it. But still, he could have been around, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, he had missions that he was doing as well for Naruto, but, there could have been time for his family. I mean, to me, the guy could have been a better father. I mean, yeah, he had what I guess you could call a redemption arc. Still question that. But, yeah, he still could have been better. Light Yagami. Light Yagami's got to be on this list because, well, when you look at Misa, Misa Amane really loved him. I mean, she did. And she tried to do everything for him that she could to help him out. And he saw her as nothing more than a tool. I mean, the guy was like, hey, you know what? I'll even kill her if I have to just to hide my own identity. But he's not the worst. Because the worst is definitely Makoto Ito. I mean, seriously, School Days, man. Don't watch that anime. I'm serious. To anyone out there, just don't watch it. That series is bad. And Makoto, he just ruins the lives of so many young women. It's so bad. It really is. And, man, the way that he gets treated in the end, I mean, like, yeah, no, I kind of feel like he deserved it. I mean, seriously, the ending's pretty bad, though. But, yeah, good questions. Crash Bash asks, do you play Drakengard Nier series, and who is more messed up, Kame or Tyrion Callum? Yes, I have played Drakengard. I actually do like that series. I really love the third game, and then, of course, Nier Automata, because, Nier Automata, I mean, who doesn't like 2B? Just saying. She's one of my mains in Soul Calibur 6, in fact. Yeah. But, yes, I do play the series. They are a load of fun. Now, who would be more messed up, Kame or Tyrion Kalos? Oh, I definitely have to say Kame. I mean, Kame sacrificed his own voice to enter a pact with the Red Dragon to, escape death. And then this very creature may have also been the one to kill his own parents. Yeah, I would say Kame, and he also basically just fights and battles to quell the rage that's inside of him. Tyrion just seems to like chaos, but we don't really know a reason for that. Kame actually has more of a reason, so yeah. But yeah, good questions. Time for the questions on Discord, though. Ronan Slayer asks, do you like Republic Commandos? Oh, I love Republic Commandos. I remember, in fact, I don't know if anybody else remembers this, but back in the day when Xbox still had Xbox Magazine, they had the demo for Republic Commando, and I still have that to this very day because I bought that magazine, and yeah, I actually still have the demo to that game. And it's like the first 2 missions of the game. It's actually really cool, and it really got me into Republic Commandos. Then again, I knew it was going to be pretty cool when I saw it, and then played it. Oh, I love it. I especially love the Grievous scene at the end of the game, like where you see him for a brief moment. I still thought that was really cool too. Good question, man. Anime AK116 asks, I'm with Ronan Slayer, but my question is, have you ever played Star Wars Republic Commando? Yes, I have, because, well, like I said, I played the demo first, and then when the actual game came out. But, yeah, no, I really love Republic Commando. It's actually one of my favorite Star Wars games. That was one of my favorites, as well as the Force Unleashed, which, God, I love that game to death. And Star Wars Battlefront and Battlefront 2, the original ones, not the remade ones, but the original ones. I love those. But yeah, good question, man. So, Nothing Else asks, cats or mice? So, cats or mice? Oh, yeah, well, I think it's pretty obvious. If I had to choose between Blair, the good cat witch that she is, because, like me a kitty kitty there. But if I had to choose between Blair or the mouse Mizune, well, while I thought Mizune was pretty decent as a character, not too bad, but I was more into Blair because Blair was actually a really good character in Soul Eater, and she also assisted the characters, so she actually had plot relevance, and there was a lot of cool things that I thought that she really did, and her character, just the fan service with her as well. I mean, seriously, Blair is a great character. But yeah, good question, man. Games ask, what are your thoughts for RWBY Volume 8? I hope everyone dies, including Team Ruby. I despise and want them to die. I know they probably won't because who cares? Yeah, I mean, Volume 8, I just hate it. I mean, like, honestly, I don't know. Between Volume 7 and 8, which one is the worst volume, in my opinion, right now? Because, yeah, Volume 7 is complete, but Volume 8 is really making me despise it. And Chapter 5 and Chapter 6 both made me really hate this volume. I mean, seriously, you want to talk about me really being frustrated over this volume? Those 2 chapters have already done it. I mean, there's been a lot of things in this volume I have not liked, but those 2 especially have really angered me personally, but I'm not surprised. But yeah, good question, man. James95 asks, what is your top 10 best waifu in Fate series, and who is your best waifu in the Kingdom Hearts series? Oh, so that's very interesting. So, I have talked about this one before, but I'll go into it a little bit. So, Medusa is definitely one of them from the Fate series. I really like Medusa's character, and I think that she is a great servant. But yeah, Medusa is definitely one of my favorite characters. And then, of course, there is Artoria, because who doesn't like King Arthur? I mean, Artoria is one of my favorites. She always has been. And then again, if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have Best Girl Mordred, just saying. And I've always really enjoyed Jack the Ripper. I think Jack the Ripper is actually a pretty awesome character, and probably one of my favorite assassins in the entire series. So yeah, Jack the Ripper, definitely one of my all-time favorites. Another one is MASH. Now, I love MASH because, I like her design, but I also really like her personality, and her fighting style is really cool. I do like it. But, MASH is definitely one of my favorites, and I've always loved her character. Another one is Rin, because who doesn't like Rin? I mean, like I said, I like tsunderes, and Rin is definitely one of those that I got to throw there on the list because, she is too good to me. In my opinion, I do like her character. But now that we're speaking of Ren, let's go ahead and talk about Ereshkigal, because Ereshkigal is also one of my favorites. I have grown to love this character so much, and I find her to be just absolutely adorable. And for the Queen of the Dead, well, she's a very cute Queen of the Dead, just saying. And then there is also Ishtar, because Ishtar, she was actually one of the best parts of Babylonia, in my opinion. I mean, her character was fun. She's very mischievous, but I just love it. I really do. And then there is Teme Monome. I really love her character. And we also can't forget about the alter ego, the Tamemo 9, where they all have different kimonos. I mean, they're actually great. But yes, Tamemo no Me is also a personal favorite. And then, of course, there is Nero. I don't think anyone could ever say that Nero is not one of their favorites. But, I do love her a lot, from her design to her personality. She is one of the best sabers, in my opinion. But hey, I'm just saying, Umu. But obviously, my favorite of all is definitely Mordred. Mordred still always holds that #1 place for me because it's Mordred. She is the best, in my opinion. The Saber of Red. God, I love her character, and her story arc, in my opinion, is excellent. And in terms of Kingdom Hearts waifu, it's definitely Aqua. Aqua's always been my favorite. I love her design, but I also love her personality. I mean, she is, in my opinion, probably the best part of Kingdom Hearts, but that's just me. But yeah, thanks for asking, man. Opening Desk asks, for the November Q&A, with Christmas around the corner, what are some good Christmas episodes you recommend? Well, I don't typically see a whole ton of the ones that I usually watch with Christmas specials, but my favorite one really would be the fairy tale one. I still love that one, although I kind of like the manga version of it better because there are some differences between the anime and the manga version of the fairy tale Christmas special, because the Christmas was an OVA, but still I really did enjoy that. That one's what I like, but that's just me. And how would you rewrite or change the new She-Ra? I'd cancel it because I wouldn't have ever made that a thing. Just the old She-Ra's fine. Just saying. That's my opinion. But yeah, good questions, Ben. Mr. DJ Fly asks, do you think Western anime, especially RWBY, are starting to look and feel more like professional wrestling in terms of plots and tropes being used, like good guy versus bad guy and all that jazz? I just think it's more of the SJW mentality of there's no morally gray or sympathetic villains. Like, there's no morally gray areas for characters, and they're just either A, you're good or you're evil. There's no in between, which that's not how stories work, because there are morally gray characters. And, I don't see why they can't just have that. Or, like, villains can be redeemed. We've seen this multiple times, but, RWBY doesn't want to do that. Also, if they were like wrestling, I'd want to see The Undertaker. I'd want to see The Undertaker. Just saying. But yeah, good question, man. Anime AK116 asks, what do you think? Would this be true if Passion of the Christ got an anime adaptation? And then it's just Jesus with a sword and says, want to know why I'm the best shonen protagonist, Satan? And then it shows him and he goes, why? And it's like, oh, Sasuke chokes. Well, if Jesus came down and choked Sasuke, I think I'd be okay with it. You know what? Because I really don't like Sasuke. So, yeah, no, I'd be fine with it. Anime AK116 then asks, would you like to be a voice actor someday? Yeah, actually, I mean, that would be fun. I would love to do that if I was actually given the opportunity. I would not be against it. I would definitely jump to it if given the chance. I mean, I think it'd be fun. I was told multiple times, now this is just what I was told. I don't know about this, but this is just what I've been told. I've been told by some people in the past that I could actually pull off good voice acting. I don't know about that, but that's just what I've been told. But, I'm just saying. But if I was given the opportunity, then yeah, no, I'd give it a shot. I just wouldn't want to work with anybody like Funimation, for example, because, it's Funimation. I don't like them. But, I'm just saying, yeah, I would. I mean, you can let me know down below if you think that I'd be good for it, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel like I'd be for it, but hey, all of you down below, you can let me know what you think, whether I'd be a good voice actor or not. If you had kids with Neo, who would they be? Well, they'd be my kids. They'd be mine and Neo's kids, and they'd probably have a bit of red hair and white hair and pink hair and brown hair, maybe. A weird mixture. But yeah, it'd be interesting. Ever wonder why Miles and company won't just get good? Because they aren't good. Because they're not writers. Because they're hack activists. They are not writers. I mean, all they are just a bunch of assholes that like to go and cause trouble and just ruin things that people enjoy. That's what they are. I mean, that's literally all that they are. And they go to prove that, each time a new RWBY volume comes out. Because the chapters are shit. Because they don't know how to improve and they don't want to improve. So that's on them. Do you play D&D? Yes, I have in the past. I haven't played it more so recently, but yes, I played it when I was in college, actually. So there was a little bit of that when I played. I did enjoy it. Had a lot of fun with it, actually. So, what class and how much fun did you have? I was actually a sorcerer. I worked my way up pretty hard on it. I would have to find the papers that I had for it, but I became a pretty high level. I mean, not like amazing, but I came a pretty high level in that. But man, there was like a ton of fun that I had with the game. There was even this one time that my friends and I we were playing, and what actually happened was we went. This is probably one of the funniest stories I think. Was we went to this cave that was basically made out of full diamonds. It was a full diamond cave, and so somebody had the bright idea of, which I don't know why, but they had the bright idea of, hey, wonder what would happen if I were to screw some diamonds. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds absolutely insane, but yes, somebody went that far to actually do it. They threw a roll for it, and of course, they got to do it, and then because of that, they got kind of, damaged downstairs, if you know what I mean. And so, because of this, I had to try to heal him, and it didn't work. And instead, because the healing failed, he got poisoned. So apparently, the negative was that he was poisoned by the healing, and so he died. It was, oh man, it was one of the weirdest takes I think that ever happened in the game, and it was so bad. It was so funny though at the same time. It was hilarious. Yeah, good question, man. So Captain Boomerang asked, "Happy late Thanksgiving." Well, thanks, man. I hope that all of you watching, as well as you, Captain Boomerang, that you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope it was great for all of you. Starting for RWBY Volume 3, what would you do to the story in terms of Ozpin and Salem? I think you've answered this before. And how would you fix the White Fang and Adam? Where would you put in Cinder and Neo's backstory? So, what I would have done with Ozpin and Salem, I would have made Salem a character that was actually a woman who had these powers, like the magic that we'd seen all along. But instead of there like being an original humanity and then they all get destroyed by the gods and then, humanity gets revived, I wouldn't have had that. What I would have actually done is you have Salem be this special being with all this magic. Like, apparently, like, her semblance could be this magical power, or she could have just been born with these special abilities. Ozpin, who could have been the king, which could have wanted all the power, he tricks Salem into falling in love with him, and thus what he does is he steals her powers from her, so that he could actually have all the power, which he could claim that she was a witch, and then, that she was slain, and then what could happen is, because she would disappear because of the kingdom, right? She could actually be taken into where like the Grimm were, or like a Grimm cesspool, and thrown into it. And then she could have actually given herself up to a Grimm, or she could have been, like I said, just exiled. And what she could have done is she could have found like, I guess you could say, like a core to the Grimm, like maybe their actual origin, and then she could have made a deal which could have made her what she is now. I think that would have been a lot better, personally. And it could have had Ozpin actually be like the secret villain, and then Salem could kind of give in to being kind of like a villain herself because she wants revenge on Ozpin. And so she thinks that, because of him being a tyrannical leader, what she could do is she could try to overthrow him and try to show humanity that he was wrong all along, that he was a corrupt king. His semblance could have actually been reincarnation, so that he could have always stayed in control of power. And then, of course, taking the maiden powers could have actually made him even more powerful so that nobody could oppose him. And then Salem could have actually been a strategist by using the Grimm abilities and beating him each and every time. It could have been kind of something interesting that way. And then, of course, it would lead into the whole Ozpin only fights one way while she always beats him because he always fights in the same way, which was, strength and numbers, but it doesn't always work, which he would continue to keep lies because he would lead hunters and huntresses, as they would believe that they'd be doing the right thing, to their deaths. I think that would be a lot better. And then Salem could actually try to expose the truth of Ozpin and how evil he actually is. And then Raven could have been a character that could have been a revolutionist. Yes, I'm throwing Raven in there because it would have made sense, because she could have been like an oracle who could have known the truth between Ozpin and Salem. There wouldn't have been this MacGuffin relic crap, which I think shouldn't have been in the series at all to begin with. I never liked it, so, that's just my opinion. And Raven could have wanted to take down Salem and Ozpin both so that she could revolutionize the world, because Summer's death could have actually led Raven to believing in the whole the weak die and the strong survive, which then she could try to have her own revolution so that she could restructure the world to being that way. I think that could have been better, and it would have been an interesting plot going forward, in my opinion. As for the White Fang and Adam, well, the White Fang could have been formed because there could have actually been real discrimination. You know, you could have actually had the Faunus being mistreated for being different, you know, for having animal-like parts which could scare humans and make them think that they could try to overthrow humans, and then they would start actually trying to, you know, make them like get thrown into cages, or they would beat them, or they would take them to slavery. You know, so many things that you could have actually done with that. Adam himself could have been a victim of that. He could have been a victim of abuse by humans or slavery, which then could have led him to becoming a White Fang member, because he would see them as the good guys, because the White Fang could have been a group of Faunus who would have actually truly wanted a revolution to try to, you know, bring balance between the humans and the Faunus, so that they could be seen equally as well as humans. And then you could have had Adam, who could have believed in that cause. I mean, he could have had resentment and hatred, and of course killing Penny, which, you know, was the original idea for Monty, which, you know, I would have liked this a lot better, is where killing Penny, he would have killed a being with a soul, and then by doing this, he would have realized that seeing this and seeing a being like Penny who had a soul and killing her, well, that could have shown him that, you know, there is importance within life of every kind, and this could have had him kind of look into everything, you know, because he had resentment and hatred towards humans for the way that the Faunus as well as himself were treated. Well, this could have made him start to question his perspective on life in general, and he could then see that human life as well as Faunus life and any other is just as important. And this could have, you know, had him just change his ways and start to become a good guy. You know, he could have totally changed, and maybe even taken the White Fang in a better direction to actually help, you know, really balance things between human and Faunus so they're both seen equally. I mean, that's an idea. And then the Cinder and Neo backstory. Okay, so Cinder's backstory should have been in Volume 6, but it could have been much better than it was, I think. Neo's backstory could have also been in Volume 6. Like, Volume 6 could have really been a build-up for Volume 7, if you think about it. And I don't mean in the trash way it was done. I mean, like, in the actual sense that this could have built up characters as well, understand why they are the way they are, or why they see things the way they do. I mean, this could have been a way to go into Cinder's backstory to better understand her. You could have taken at least 2 to 3 episodes to explain it then. Same with Neo, same with Adam. You know, these characters had all that opportunity. You know, you could have cut out the Cordovan crap that didn't matter, and you could have actually just put in Team RWBY making it to Atlas, and then you could have had the center focus be of Cinder, Neo, and Adam. And I mean, I think that would have been a lot better. Adam could have actually been the antagonist of Atlas, because during that time he would still be going through trying to figure out his perspective on everything. And Cinder and Neo, they could team up, and then you could start to learn of both of their backstories. I think that would have been better, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, good questions, man. Rodent Slayer asks, the Old Republic or High Republic? Oh, the Old Republic, 100%. You kidding me? That High Republic garbage. I know about that new stuff. Man, it's going to be so bad. The High Republic is going to be a complete mess. No, thank you. But yeah, good question, man. Coop was right all along, asked, where is my super suit? I remember that. The Incredibles. Oh, yeah. That was a good movie. When Disney was making some decent stuff still. Those were the good days. Those are the good days. I am the Izu that is approaching. Ask, want to be a little PogChamp? That would be great to actually get a PogChamp emote. That would be funny. Oh, good question, man. Good question. So, Arklord asks, I saw you missed my question from the October Q&A, so I resent it. Thank you very much. I do apologize for missing it. I noticed that. I accidentally missed it, so I really do apologize for that. I felt so bad, and I was like, oh no, I missed that. So, I am really sorry that I didn't make it in the last Q&A, but here it is. So, here we go. So, Arklord asks, what do you think about this kind of semblance evolution for Weiss? I think it would be interesting reference to her grandfather, what found the Shanid as company because Armigigas is his armor. And also interesting concept of being one with her humanoid summon. Well, the thing is that she already did have an evolution, which was the Armigigas. Because being able to summon was actually Weiss's evolution for her semblance. But if this was like a, I guess, further beyond evolution or a new evolution to a semblance, I mean, it just depends on how good it would be. Because if it, for example, was able to allow her to use every ability of her glyphs, for example, like because it'd be armored around her own weapon, that would be cool. Especially if we saw time dilation come back, man, I would love to see that. But no, they've forgotten all about that for sure. But yeah, good question, man. Closet Freak 91 asks, "Have you heard of the SCP Foundation?" Yes, I actually have. I do find that whole thing, the SCP, and all the creatures from the SCP to be very interesting stuff that people come up with. Like, it is some awesome stuff. But yes, I have heard of the SCP Foundation, and I think it's absolutely amazing. So, Anime AK116 asks, "Would you ever be interested in a tactical RWBY D&D game?" If it wasn't made by Rooster Teeth, yes, I would actually. I would 100% be into that. But then again, I mean, it's D&D. I mean, you could really kind of put it in your own setting anyway. So, but yeah, yes, I would. I think it would be really cool. What made you fall in love with Neo? Well, I remember when Monty actually posted the ice cream, Neapolitan ice cream, and it was supposed to be kind of like him hinting at something. And then, of course, the trailer for Volume 2 came out, and then there was Neapolitan, and I thought, oh, she looks really cool. And then, of course, when we actually got to see her in action against Yang, it was like Dead Fantasy and Halo It all over again for Monty, and I loved it. It was just a dream come true for me, and to know that Monty was also inspired by a cosplayer, it was really cool. And I just loved Neo's design from head to toe. I mean, her hair, just her personality. I mean, yeah, she's mute, but I still love her to death. But I also love how she just like, got that secret crazy side to her as well. I don't know, just Neo is a fantastic character to me. I just love her to death. I mean, I hate the way she's treated by Rooster Teeth, but I love Neo's character though. I mean, like, Volume 2 just set it in stone that she was like my waifu at that moment. Just saying. But yeah, good question, man. Ronan Slayer asks, "I guess this one is for after your Volume 8 Chapter 4 review. Do you think Yang is a bitch?" Oh, I thought that for a while now. I mean, she's a terrible character. I mean, Yang was fun and interesting in the first 3 volumes. I liked her then. She was a good character at that time. She was fun. She was like that party girl. She had a good personality. And then it's like they just drop all that and they're like, she's got to be a strong, independent woman. And then she's far from that. I mean, she just acts like a stuck up, smug idiot. And it's just annoying. It comes off as just frustrating. It doesn't come off as like comical or anything like that. And I mean, you could pull that off in a comical way or an interesting way, but like it just comes off as I'm better than you, and I can't stand it. Yet Yang is just I hate her character. She's obnoxious. And what really frustrates me is like her whole character ever since Volume 5 has basically just been Blake. Blake, Blake, Blake. Blake is basically a tumor that lives in her head rent free, and it just gets annoying. Like, it really does. Like, at one time I would have told you, yeah, Bumblebee wasn't a problem to me. I didn't really care about it. But then once it was shoved down everybody's throats, then I got tired of it because it was just so obnoxious. Had it been developed well, had it not been shoved down everyone's throats, oh, yeah, fine. I would have been okay with it. But it wasn't. And I hate that. And then the way she argues with Rin and, Chapter 4, God. I mean, yeah, of course, we're going to have somebody have to fight with Rin, but it makes Yang look like she doesn't understand anything and has not grown at all as a character, and that's what I can't stand. But yeah, no, I don't like her. I think Yang's a bitch. But yeah, good question, man. James95 asks, "What do you think of this Fate memes in comics?" Oh boy, these are going to be fun. So, it shows Artorias as Luke Skywalker. And Gilgamesh SC3PO. That is glorious. Oh man, I love that. Is glorious. Oh, I like this. You said father came. This world's Mordor is really cute. Arthur Pendragon? No, this one is too kind. You're really troublesome. Oh man, I love Mordred. I love the way she acts towards her father, and then of course Arthur, yeah, getting in between both both the Jean d'Arcs. Oh, lucky man. He definitely gets it. Definitely gets it. That's where I'd want to be, is in his place. 100%. Lucky man. Look at you. You couldn't even get your tie right. Ah, I am terribly sorry for my untidiness. Ha ha. Stay still. I'll tie it for you myself. And then you just see Mordred taking the pictures. And it's like, and then she was ordered by Artoria to delete them afterwards. Oh, that's pretty funny. I like that. Nice wave, Mordred. Could you please do it again? Plus support. Yes, father. Oh, Mordred. Oh, God. Oh, Mordred and her father's attention. Oh, God, I love this character. I really love Mordred. Master is pretty late. Oh, it's Mordred. So cute. And then Mordred's mine. It's just they could father pet me. Oh, I like that. See, this is why, to me, Mordred is best girl. Oh, God, I love Mordred so much. Oh, man. But yeah, those were nice, man. I like them. Thank you very much for sending them. Rowan Slayer asks, gods or humans? At this point, I think I'm going to fall more on gods than I am humans. Because, you know, looking at the conflict that happens. But then again, you know, if the god I could choose is Palutena, if she could be the goddess that I could choose, I don't care. I'd be trolled every day of the week, but I'd love her to death. So I gotta go gods. Oh, man. Johnny Q asks, would you rather watch RWBY Volume 7 or Gundam Seed Destiny? Gundam Seed Destiny for a year straight. Yes, Gundam Seed Destiny for a year straight. Yes, yes. I don't care. Gundam Seed. Hell, I would even watch The Last Jedi for a year straight. I would vomit my guts up, but I'd watch it. I mean, seriously, at this point, I'd rather watch anything over RWBY Volume 7. Hell, I would watch The Room. I mean, I love The Room. It's bad, but it's like comical bad. But yeah, I'd watch that for a year straight. But I mean, I'm just saying. But yeah, good question, man. So Sycenio asks, which is scarier to you, Infliction or Visage? Oh, that's a good one. Because they're both really good horror games. If I had to say one scarier than the other, I'd probably have to go with Visage. I mean, like, yeah, you know, Infliction is scary, but like, I think the Visage beats it. I don't know. That's just me. So Visage. But yeah, very good question, man. Very good question. Captain Boomerang asks, who would you cast as Neo if she had a voice actress? Oh man, that's good. If I had to say, now there are two that really come to mind for me. One of them being Laura Bailey, because she's my favorite English voice actress. And yes, I know she voices Abby, but it's not her fault how the character was written. But yeah, but she's done a lot of really good roles. Lucina being like one of my all-time favorites. Her or Karen Strassman. Karen Strassman, I think, would also be another good Neo in my opinion. But yeah, those are like the two that really come to mind if I were to say who would be good for her. But that's just me. And is she better off being mute or have a few lines? Oh, she's better off being mute now because they would just ruin her with dialogue. I mean, that's for certain. Since they always like to make the character sound stupid in some way or form. So it's probably best if she is mute. And if she spoke, what would she say and to whom? The one thing I always wanted her to say was when she was coming back, if she had a voice actress, I was hoping that she would actually like, you know, like jump in and attack Cinder, right? And I was hoping that she'd be like, Roman. Like in this cynical like kind of way, like that would have been really good, or like in a yandere kind of way. Like I would have liked that. That would have been a really good one. Either that, or you know, like she could attack Ruby and she could be like red. You know, like man, that would have been good in my opinion. But that's just me. And Neo is best waifu. Yes, she is. She is best waifu. That is for certain. She gets mistreated, but she is best waifu. She doesn't deserve to be mistreated. How dare you, Rashid? But yeah, good questions. James95 asks, what do you think of Mordred wearing the dress? Oh, Mordred wearing a dress. Now, that would be something. Taking a look at this. Say, that petite blonde-haired Saber with mean-looking eyes. Yes, that Saber. Something about her is just different, even though her face is certainly to my liking. Even so, I have a feeling she'll look good in that dress. You'll like, Medea. Well, I wonder. Want to give it a try? And so I want you to put on a dress, Mozan. Like hell, I'll agree. Oh, that's great. Come on, I can assure you'll look great. As if I'll wear something so difficult to move in. Please consider it just this once. I said I don't want to. Ha, what a bummer. Fine then. What? I'm sorry, okay? Don't be mad. Stop acting like an abusive boyfriend. What? Oh, my. She put it on. Say something, damn it. Mordred actually wearing a dress. That looks good though. I do think that she would look good wearing a dress. Then again, after all, it's Mordred, so of course I'm gonna think that she's gonna look good wearing a dress. But hey, I'm just saying. But yeah, good comic man. Captain Boomerang asks, what video game would Neo fit in perfectly? I feel like one game that she would have actually worked really well in would actually have been Skullgirls. I think that Skullgirls would have been good for her to actually be in. I feel like that would have been perfect. I mean, that's just me though. Sexy Neo asks, weakest anime character you think can defeat RWBY? Magikarp? Magikarp. And it doesn't have to learn tackle, flail, bounce, or hydro pump. Just splash. I think it can win with splash. Yep. Gotta go Magikarp. Gotta go Magikarp. Captain Boomerang asks, not sure if this has been asked already. If you rebooted RWBY, would Roman and Pyrrha still be alive? If they have to die, how would they die? I would prefer Roman to live as well as Pyrrha. In fact, I would have preferred Jean to die instead of Pyrrha because Jean dying could have been different from the whole master dying and the apprentice, actually rising up to become the master. It could have been one of those like Pyrrha could have been very depressed over, trying to teach someone, which could also make her kind of feel like trying to fight could actually be a hindrance to her teammates or allies, so she could be afraid to do it. I mean, that could have been something really interesting. And it could have been an internal conflict that she'd have to try to get past to try to save her friends. Like, there could be a conflict where Salem's forces could almost kill somebody. And then that could make Pyrrha act and then start to fight, to save others. Something like that. As for Roman, what I think would have been cool for Roman is if he actually lived and then him and Neo basically became like the rulers of the underworld. That would have been really cool if that happened. Because then you could have had like Roman still be there. He could be like a recurring, antagonist, and Neo could also be by his side. I think that would have been cool, and then you wouldn't really have to kill Roman nor Neo. That would have been pretty awesome. So Musculus asks, do you play fighting games? Yes, I do actually. I really enjoy them. Some of my favorites would be like Dead or Alive, Smash, which Smash Melee is still my all-time favorite. Also, I like Soul Calibur series, except for 5. 5 was not that great. But yeah, I do. I love playing fighting games. In fact, it's one of my favorite genres. So, yeah, I do. If you had the choice to make a really good waifu game, what genre would it be? Oh, that's a good one. I would probably do like an RPG one, a fighting game one. Now, if I did a fighting game one, I'd probably do it in kind of maybe the sense of like Smash or probably in Soul Calibur. And then make the characters all have customizable clothing. See what I mean? But that would be pretty nice. RPG would be fun, like I said, because you can do a lot with that. Like it could be fighting as well as it could also be a dating sim. Just saying. But yeah, good questions. Good questions for sure. Captain Boomerang asks, ever thought of doing a live stream? Yeah, I've actually debated it before. I mean, maybe eventually I could. You know what? I have an idea. In the comment section down below, everybody that has made it this far, let me know if you would want to see me do a live stream sometime, and I might get to it. I mean, yeah, I might actually do that sometime eventually. I think it could be fun. I mean, that's just me though, but I think it could be fun. Captain Boomerang also asks, who do you trust more, the 2020 elections or Miles and Carrie? Oh, good God. Yeah, neither one. If I had to trust an agitated rattlesnake or them, I would trust the agitated rattlesnake. Okay? That's who I would trust more than either one of those choices. Just saying. Oh boy. Opening Desk asks, know any good anime for preschoolers? I have a 2-year-old nephew who lives on the other side of the world, and I want to introduce him to the medium as soon as possible. I would probably say Pokemon would definitely be one of them. I mean, kids will love Pokemon if they watch it. I mean, it's more so because things like Pikachu, for example, because Pikachu is like a cuddly, cute little mascot that people could enjoy. And then Doraemon would be like another series I could come up off the top of my head that I think would probably be another anime that kids would probably like. I mean, those are really like the only two that could come to mind that I think that kids would probably enjoy. But yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. But yeah, good question, man. Mr. DJ Fly asks, imagine Movie Bob being a part of Rooster Teeth, and let's say in a parallel universe, if Rooster Teeth decided to hire Movie Bob, where would they put him, and would he survive? Oh my lord! I would just say that they would probably hire him in this dimension, in this universe. I mean, Rooster Teeth's that desperate, they'd do it. I mean, would he survive? Oh yeah, they'd make up some excuse to make him survive. Oh, of course they would, because they're idiots. Just saying. Johnny Q asks, do you think Justice from Guilty Gear could solo RWBY? Yes, easily. I mean, RWBY is not going to stand a chance against Justice. Are you kidding me? Justice is going to swoop down and just wreck them. They wouldn't even know what hit them. He'd be done with them before they could even get their weapons ready. Like, he would destroy them. And it would be hard. Falstrom Jaeger asks, questions for November Q&A. Top 10 best cat and dog girl waifus. Now, I've got more like 5 dog waifus, but, I mean, I'll add them all, so it would be total like 15. But yeah, so first one would have to be Eris from Asobi ni Ikuyo, or Cat Planet Cuties. I find her to be a very cute character. Not only that, but she also is an alien who actually makes friends with cats and humans very easily. So, but, you know, Eris, I think, is a really good character. And, you know, she wants to learn all about what she can of Earth. I mean, it's interesting. Then there's Ichigo Momomiya from Tokyo Mew Mew. Now, I always love Tokyo Mew Mew. And while, of course, Ichigo herself is actually a regular girl that's actually just struggling with school, well, thing of it is that she's also working to be a secret superhero. And which magical girl anime, I always enjoy them. So, yeah, it's a good story, I think. I really love Tokyo Mew Mew. Another one is Yoriko Sakisawa from Da Capo. Now, if you haven't watched Da Capo, you definitely should, because it's a pretty interesting tale of Yoriko actually being a cat that was transformed into a, you know, cat girl. And she kind of acts like a cat still, because she doesn't understand how human mannerisms really work. It's actually really cute. I thought it was adorable for an anime. I really enjoyed it. And then, of course, there's Nikopara that has chocolate and vanilla, because, oh man, I love both of them. Like, it's really hard to choose for me which one I like more than the other, because you have vanilla, and vanilla is just adorable, and also she is kind of more quiet and reserved when it comes to her emotions, but she's a very witty character. And, you know, then her twin sister Chocola is adorable herself, because she's outgoing, and, you know, that's one thing I like about her, because she's the complete opposite of vanilla. Like, that's funny, they're both twin sisters, and yet, you know, they're just so opposite from one another. I really like it. And, you know, that's the reason why I can't help but like both of them, because while they're the opposites, they just really work well off of one another. But yeah, both chocolate and vanilla are on this list. Nozumi from Mayoi Nico Overrun is also another one, because, like cats, some of them take a while to trust people, and that's exactly what she does within that series, and she's just absolutely adorable. And her past is also unknown. I do like her character. And then Koneko, because, God, I love High School DxD. That anime is so good. And Koneko, I love how she used to be so distant in the beginning. And then, of course, when she finally opens up, she's just absolutely adorable. I mean, I love Koneko, and she actually turned out to be one of my favorite characters. Especially whenever she starts to show off more of her Nico side. She's really cute. And then, I can't help but say, but Coconut from Nikopara is too good. I mean, I couldn't not have her on this list. I mean, she tries to be really cute when actually she's very strong, and she learns to accept that, you know, she is strong. But I really enjoy her, and also her design. Like, look at this design. You can't tell me this is not an adorable design. I mean, seriously. Coconut, yeah, she's beautiful. But then there's also Blair from Soul Eater, because, like I said, I really enjoyed Blair. She was very helpful and a good supportive character to the cast. I mean, her interactions with Mako were actually pretty funny as well. And Soul, too. I really enjoyed her from the moment she entered the series at the beginning. Then, of course, you have Okayu. I really enjoy her. I mean, she's a VTuber, but yeah, no, she's waifu material. I mean, you just got to give her credit on that. I mean, you know, definitely got to give it to her. She is a fun and entertaining VTuber. Now, when it comes to best doggo girls, Yoko from Inukami is one of my favorites. I really enjoy her because she is actually a character that likes to play tricks and has a bit of a devious nature, but she's cute. She does it out of love, so I really do like her. And then another one from Tokyo Mew Mew, which is Sakura Fujiwara. Now, she's the most mature one of the group, and she's actually the only one that is actually a dog out of the group. Not only that, but she's also a model. Yeah, and a dancer. Yeah, she is a really good one. Another one is Holo from Spice and Wolf. And while she says she's not a deity, I don't know about that. But I do think that she is a rather unique and interesting character, and I've also found Spice and Wolf to be a very good anime. Check it out if you haven't already. Another one is Jens from Cat Planet Cuties. So she is actually a part of the Dogizians, which they are actually enemies of the Catizians. They've had a rivalry, but this doggo definitely is excellent. And then my last one for this list would definitely be Corone, because Corone is best doggo. I mean, Corone. Nice. Talk about a fun VTuber, and definitely best doggo waifu. Yeah, gotta give it to Corone 100%. But yeah, so Falskirm Jaeger then asked, because of the passing of Dave Prowse, best Darth Vader fight can include Legends material. Rest in peace to Dave Prowse. Rest in peace to him. But when it comes to my favorite Vader fight, that's a tough one. I'd have to say that I did like the What If series whenever they did Darth Vader versus Maul. Like when Darth Vader actually defeats Maul by stabbing himself. It was a long and vicious duel, but like in the end, what he does is he takes his lightsaber and he just stabs it through himself to beat the specter of Darth Maul. That was one of my all-time favorite moments. I love that, and I also like the Shadows of the Empire, where Zyzer finds out that Darth Vader's son is Luke, so he puts a death mark on him, and so what Vader decides to do is he decides to go after Zyzer and blows up his ship above Coruscant. Now that was amazing with him inside of it. That was really cool. But yeah, those are some of my favorites. But yeah, good questions, man. Bailink asks, "Hi, Deal. I'm really sorry about your dad. Wish he got the liver transplant he needed. Many condolences. I hope these questions will make you feel better." Hey, man, I appreciate it. I mean, I'm still trying to, get through all of that. It's never something that you get over, but it's just something that you move on from, really. But hey, man, I appreciate it, and I appreciate all of you that send all the nice comments and everything. Like, I appreciate all of you. You all are fantastic, and I've been trying to get back to work, working harder for all of you as well. So I do appreciate it. I really do. I mean, it really means a lot. Questions for the Q&A. I got the perfect Thanksgiving game for you. It'd make a great Halloween game too. Look at the first pick. Oh yeah, Carrion. Yeah, I haven't tried that. I'll definitely give it a shot. Thanks, man. Can you think of any good Thanksgiving movies or anime off the top of your head? Well, this isn't really a Thanksgiving movie, but it's Christmas. But Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase. That is like one of my all-time favorite movies. Oh man, God. Man, I know it's not Thanksgiving, but it's something you can watch around Thanksgiving because Christmas is right near it. But man, it's hilarious. I love it. That's actually about the only thing I could really think of. But yeah, what anime are you watching right now that's not RWBY? So I have been watching Steins Gate Zero. I finally got around to watching that because I watched the original Steins Gate, which is one of my favorite anime of all time. Finally got around to watching it, and I'm enjoying it thus far. Also, watching through the original Yu-Gi-Oh series again in Japanese. It's so much fun. I'm actually currently on GX. I'm just entering the third season, which the third season is fantastic in GX. It's so good. I've also been watching Healing Good Precure because I've always been a Precure fan. Strike Witch's Road to Berlin. Love Live, that's another one. I've been watching Yashahime and Maju no Tabi Tabi. Now that's another really good one. I really like that one. But yeah, so I've been watching a pretty decent amount of stuff as of late. It's been pretty nice to be able to just kind of sit down, watch some anime, and just kind of relax, you know. So, you know, it's been enjoyable and really fun. I've also been reading some manga as well lately. So, you know, I've been doing some of that. It's been pretty relaxing. You know, I really enjoy doing it. So, yeah, but that's what I've been doing. So, yeah, thanks for asking, man. So, Arklord asked, okay, it's time for another meme review. I hope you will enjoy. It's starting with meme so universal as it can be. Oh, okay. So this is it's a not safe for work door. Oh, and they're trying to get through it. Why can't I see this as to be reported so it can be banned? Oh, yeah, yeah. That's basically the truth. Because that's what all those Karens and SJWs want to do. Is they want to ban the not safe for work art. Yeah, of course, of course. Ever been so bored in class that you made freaking pancakes? I'll tell you right now, if somebody did that, you better believe they're sharing. They are sharing it because I am going to eat some, whether they share it or not. Okay, new plan. Marco. Marco must resist. Because Marco Polo. I get it. It's not bad. No, not bad. Okay, I do like this one with Chibi Neo and the cat. I do like that. You were going to socialize. No, you can't make me. Oh, that would be like classic RWBY right there. Now that would be classic RWBY. I could see this actually playing out in the show back in the day. This would be something I could totally see. All reacting to Sun Wukong's pantless. Approved. That's a katana. Pulls already short dress lower clothing. But how? Oh yeah, because Sun Wukong, man, he's a stallion. Fuck, I just sprayed deodorant in my eyes. Why? To make my eyeballs smell like cinnamon. What do you think, Vomit Boy? It was an accident. Yeah, my question would be, why are you spraying deodorant towards your eyes? Like, what? Okay. Roses are red, violets are blue. If I had a brick, I'd throw to you. Yeah, that sounds like Weiss. I feel like she would be the kind of person to do this. At least old Weiss, because that's basically who she was. I do like that. That one's a good one. I've seen that one before, actually. Do not hesitate to destroy everything in your path, or you will die. Just Nora. I do like this. She's just over here like, yay. Oh boy, I love Nora. Knowing her, she'd probably break their legs. Fort Port. No girls allowed. No. That's pretty good. I feel like Port would do that. I don't know about anyone else. I feel like he would do that. That would be good. Dishonor on you. Dishonor on your cow. I don't think I get that one. Sure. Okay. Ha, calling me crazy. That's the best thing you can do. Your ponytail looks stupid. It's just like, you know, that would have actually been a funny line. I actually will admit that. That would have been pretty good if Tyrion was just like, how dare you? Okay, clearly we got off on the wrong claw. Let's try again. This time, don't stab me. Oh, sweet God, why? Okay, when I get up again to start the peace talks, please don't stab or drop lockers on me. Thanks. That Nevermore, yeah, he got completely destroyed. Oh, Pyrrha being stabbed by Weiss. Oh, poor Pyrrha. Oh, the memes that have just occurred after Pyrrha's death. Poor Pyrrha. I'm not mute. I just don't talk to basic bitches. Oh, okay, so then the whole cast. Got it. This sounds like Neo. In fact, I don't know if anybody knows, but Neo originally did have a voice actress, but then she just kind of was gone. It's kind of weird. Oh, I'm sorry. Was I not sarcastic enough? Oh, don't worry, Yang. You've been far too sarcastic for your own good in the series. Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, man. Freaking Yang. We made it here in record time, and we only broke 40 traffic laws and ran down a dozen people. Yeah, nailed it. Oh, man. Yep, this is what happens when you get drunk, Yang. Oh, wait, you don't watch The Road. Never mind. That explains everything. That explains exactly why you fell off the cliff in Chapter 4, Bloody Mate. Never mind. Never mind. At this moment, she knew. She fucked up. You know when Blake's mad at you? Well, actually, you probably didn't screw up. It's just Blake being a bitch. Collie. Oh, I like him. Mom, are you a cat fondus or a cougar fondus? Well, hey, you know, for son, I wouldn't mind seeing Collie actually be a cougar. Okay, you know, the boy deserves some credit because he's a good stallion of a fondus. When you did a prank and you and your sister got away with it, well, I mean, I guess somebody would smile like that. I just don't really know. I've never, you know, had a sibling with me whenever I did a prank, so I wouldn't know. RWBY fandom. Every single character is this gay. At this point, yeah, because they just love to switch up every character from what they originally were and just completely change them. Yeah, no, that sounds about right, actually. Oh, God. Oh, Neo. Facts. Things would be better if Roman was still alive. Oh, God. That one hits the heartstrings. Ah. That's so true. I miss Roman, too. I really do. I really miss Roman. Oh, he was such a good character. Local mute, way too smug, dozens found dead. Hey, I like this report, except for she's not way too smug, she's smug enough. She's perfect. Neo is perfect the way she is. Oh, I just would love for Rooster Teeth to stop treating her as well as all the other characters like shit. That'll never happen. Hello, everyone. What did you do to my Jean? Better yet, Pyrrha, you don't want him to be your Jean. In fact, Pyrrha, honey, you could do better than that. Jean is one of the 3 possible choices that are the worst ones you could possibly pick. The other 2 would be Yang and Blake. those would be the 3 worst choices for anyone that you could ever date in that entire show. Just saying. And, oh, here we go. Ren will go to Legoland next year, bud. Your mouth is a loaded gun, continuously shooting lies. Yeah, no, that sounds like John. Yeah, no, that sounds exactly like John. Ren, you nailed it. Nailed it. I like this. This one sounds accurate. I know. I like this one. Yep, sounds about right. And also, props to Ren for being a good boy in Chapter 4. Credit given to him. Wait, is this an intervention? Intervention in the background. No, what could possibly give you that idea? Oh, I miss good old Crow from when he used to be, you know, just like that irresponsible adult that kind of acted childish. Oh, the good old days of RWBY. Oh, God. I miss old drunk Crow. You know, Drunkle Crow. Miss him a lot. Oh, here we go right here. You girls, you should show some sophisticated table manners for crying out loud. Do you agree, Miss Blake? You just see Blake going, oh, blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah, no, that would be great. Also, Blake's gonna eat a candy bar, and apparently it's poison to cats. No, Yang, do us a favor. Let her eat it. Let her eat it. Do us a favor. Please, Yang, don't stop her. Let Blake eat it. Let her eat it. Don't stop her. How dare Yang? But yeah, those were good memes, man. Good job, man. Sexy Neo asks, since Penny is a female robot with a piece of a male soul, would you say that's another way RT is trying to push the trans idea on people? Actually, in fact, they did state earlier in the year, you know, when Miles actually said that his bad writing, you know, that it was all because of white people. Yeah, when he blamed white people. Such an asshole. He's so racist. But when he did that, which still hate him for it, he also stated that Penny was actually supposed to be trans, but they didn't want to go into that. But yes, that was them actually trying to do that. I mean, look, I have nothing wrong with trans people. I mean, one of my best friends is actually trans. But I mean, like, when you look at May Marigold, for example, and how that was handled, like, May Marigold's character is trash, and it's not because she's trans, it's because she's a terribly written character, and her whole backstory within Chapter 7, which I'll get into in the review, it just feels like it's forced, and I don't like that, and her backstory just feels like it could have been throwaway dialogue that could have been in Volume 7. But with the whole Penny thing, you know, it kind of feels like it might have been an attempt at that, but I feel like more of a push was with May Marigold. I feel like that's what they were really trying to push, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, good question, man. Mr. DJ Fly High asks, What's your views on retcons, and when are they best applied, and when are they worst applied? And give us some example of both cases, anime or Western, animation, or even manga. Well, one good example of a retcon that I think was done right. Okay, this is where a retcon, for example, in writing, is done well. If you remember in Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, when Obi-Wan is telling Luke of who his father was, Anakin Skywalker, and how Darth Vader had actually killed his own father, right? Then, of course, you have The Empire Strikes Back come in, and the plot reveals itself as Vader is actually the father of Luke. You know, the famous line of, "No, I am your father." You know, that line itself is good because the shock value, because it makes you think that Vader was actually the one who killed his father, and then to turn around and find out that, no, he didn't actually die, he actually is Vader. I mean, that was good. And then, of course, in Episode 6, they actually work upon that, where Obi-Wan states that the good half of Anakin Skywalker that everyone knew was killed off by the darkness, by the evil, by the dark side of Vader, you know, and that's how Vader came to be. It all makes sense. That's a good form of a retcon. A bad form of a retcon would be like, for example, in the Naruto series. Now let me explain this one. So Naruto has plenty of retcons, but this one's a pretty big one, is when the Shikaku, or the One Tail, fights off against Naruto whenever he transforms into the Nine Tails, you know, the fight between Naruto and Gaara. And the Shikaku doesn't realize who the Nine Tails is. Now why is that important? Well, I'll get to that in a second. Thing is that the Shikaku, or the One Tail, actually, his backstory originally was that he was an old man that was sealed into a cup of tea, which he became the One-Tailed Spirit, right? Well, later on, when you get to what is known as the second half of Naruto, or Shippuden, as many people know it as, thing of it is that all the tailed beasts were created by the Sage of Six Paths. So that doesn't make any sense, because it's retconned that all the tailed beasts were actually created by one being. They all would have known each other. And so for the One Tail to not know the Nine Tails during that fight made absolutely no sense. And that is a sign of a bad retcon. So you see, when you look at it, you can have retcons actually work in favor of the story if they're done right. But you can also have retcons done badly. And with RWBY's instance, for example, because that's like the best example of just retcon central, you know, it just completely just destroys what you've known as the story, and then it's like, okay, well, here's the plot hole here, here's the plot hole here, here's the plot hole here, because it continues to try to be more convenient for the writers rather than trying to remember everything, and so they retcon everything so that it makes it easier for them so they don't have to learn how to write or remember anything that they've established prior. That's why you typically hear the statement of, well, it seems like each volume of RWBY is more like its own reboot in itself, because the rules always seem to change all the time with the show, because they're never consistent, because the writers never try to keep them consistent, because they don't want to learn the rules that they've previously established. Therefore, they just overwrite them every single time, because they're terrible writers. You know, if you're a good writer, you'll try to remember every single last thing. Now, yeah, of course, some of the greatest series of all time are still known to have retcons. Now, not all of them, but some of them are. And when they do, it'll create these plot holes that you'll be able to see. Now, thing of it is that, like I said, you can actually have good writing and have retcons make things better, but a lot of times retcons can be seen more as something that may not help. But if you do a retcon right, like I said, it can actually make the series better. And, you know, with RWBY, though, it's a prime example of bad retcons. But yeah, good question, man. Captain Boomerang asks, what is your favorite Neo origin theory? I never really had one. I never really had a favorite theory. I personally always theorized myself that Neo was alone, that she never had anybody, period. That either nobody wanted her, or, you know, she was just an orphan that was left on the streets, may have lost her family somehow or something, and Roman was the one who found her, and that's the life that she knew. You know, that's always kind of what I thought, and she, you know, learned to fight for his benefit, to help him, to save the very person that she loved. That was always my theory on it, I mean, but, you know, that's just my thoughts on it. But yeah, good question, man. Sexy Neo asked, which anime shows you think Neo would fit in? That's interesting. I feel that Akame ga Kill would be one that Neo could fit well in. I don't know. I feel like she'd do well because, you know, she was an assassin character anyways. So I feel like that could be one that would be really good. That she actually would be suited well for. I mean, and her own semblance would make her pretty intimidating, considering that she can create illusions of herself and fight with those, and then she could sneak behind someone and then just end them. You know what I mean? Like that would have been a really interesting anime that she could have actually been in. I would have liked it. Although it would have been kind of funny if she actually was in Yu-Gi-Oh. I'd laugh at that one. That'd probably be something I'd laugh at if she was actually in that. That would be interesting. But yeah, good question. Which RTVA or other employees you think would be next in quitting or being fired? Carrie Shawcross, Kiersey Bunkart, and Eddie Rivas. Get them all out. Get them all out. That I think they need to go. Get them all out. Possibly Barbara Dunkelman. Get her out. Aaron Zach. Get her out. Get all the clowns out. That's a better way to put it. Just get them all out. That's the way I see it. But since Barbara Dunkelman oddly just recently created an OnlyFans, yeah, I know, right? It's a kind of feeling. But it makes you question a few things. Makes you question, why would she create an OnlyFans? If her job's going so well, you know what I mean? Makes you wonder. Makes you wonder. But yeah, good questions, Matt. Opening Desk asks, what are some good anime that feature both magic and science technology in the same setting? The Adderix War would be one, and Code Geass. So those are two I would definitely recommend, especially Code Geass. I love that series to death. That is one of my all-time favorite anime, period. Way too good. Love it. But yeah, so Adderix War and Code Geass is what I would recommend. I think you would probably like both of those. So yeah, those would be what I'd say. So yeah, good question, man. Rowan Slayer asks, if RWBY was done differently, would you like an Atlas military FPS game? Yes. I think that would actually be fun. Having an FPS, like being able to take like Atlas soldiers as well as like the Elysian Paladin 290s. Oh man, then move them around. Like, oh man, that would be great. Honestly, I think that would be a really cool game. But yeah, that'd be cool. And that ends off the questions for this month's Q&A. I hope you all enjoyed as much as I enjoyed answering them. And if you have any questions for next month's Q&A, leave them in the comment section down below. I just want to thank you all for your patience with me. I'm sorry this took so long getting out. Just so much going on in my life at the time being. But I just want to say thank you for your patience. And I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful and fantastic day today. And remember, if today was not a good day, tomorrow can always be better. Take care of yourselves and everyone around you. And have yourselves a good one out there, everybody.